Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trail Mix, where the nuts might be a little stale, but the company is always fresh.
Craig Crawford here, retired journalist working for nothing but the truth and Social Security checks. And I got my friend here, my college friend, Peter Rasuti, who I like to call.
I don't look like anything right now.
Professor Rasuti.
Oh, yeah. 40 years here, Craig.
No, you're there.
Oh, I am. Good.
Yeah. Tulane. I saw a title in your bio, and you have your assistant to help you with. I have my own assistant. Mine's Chat GPT.
Oh, do you name your assistant?
Sam.
Sam, that's good.
I mean, not real creative. I named him for Sam Altman.
Oh, that
He's the owner.
Yeah, Craig, we've known each other 50 years.
No, that's not true.
That is frightening.
Huh.
So
really?
Yeah. So you can count while we go on, but I have an abacus here, and it's true.
Yeah. And the camera is fine. I see your right eye. Oh, there's the other one.
Oh, really?
You got two
better.
eyes.
I don't know what's going on here, but
but while you're setting up,
there we go. Thank you.
Speaking of AI, I've got us a little. I had my AI assistant Sam make us a little cyber in the street. We call it our cyber in the street, where we make up human beings, we create them, and then talk to them. And so he went out and asked some people about tariffs. Here we go. I'll play this.
All right.
Pretty sure it's like when your Wi-Fi goes out and that little X thing shows up on your signal bars.
Tariffs. Isn't it that cover charge when foreigners pay extra for a concert?
Something politicians yell about right before everything gets more expensive.
So, who's actually getting screwed here? Every time some politician yells tariffs, they act like it's revenge on China or salvation for Cleveland. But Peter, who's really paying? Just somebody buying a Halloween mask.
Oh, those are great.
So I mean that is the question.
Okay.
Actually, the other thing, just before I had here, we already got a comment, and let's see, it's on the screen. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's right here. We got this comment already, saying from the Blapper. It's talk about tariffs. It's how you protect American workers, so they don't flood the market with slave labor products and put us all out of business. Now, I don't know how you straighten out that kind of thinking.
Well,
but let's be respectful.
I know. We were. I think it's a very good question, though. Who pays the tariffs? And there's really a few groups, but one is the predominant one. The companies, the nations themselves, outside of the U.S., they pay a bit, and then the company outside of the U.S., they pay a bit, and then you've got. But what you have is. The only way consumers wouldn't be affected is if corporations in the U.S. they were willing to give away their profit margins to keep prices low for consumers, and they ain't doing that, and they never were going to do that. That's
so they could always eat the tariffs out of their profits instead of passing it on.
Absolutely, but I mean that's not the nature of capitalism. And so who pays the tariffs? It's us, American consumer, and the thing is, tariffs, Craig, have never worked. The last time we tried them was 1928 with by President Hoover, and I don't know if you remember, but that didn't go well. Actually, that kind of led us to a very tough spot.
Well, I actually pulled Reagan's, this ad that Canada just recently made that made Trump so mad. I went and pulled the whole 8 minutes. I'm not going to play it all here. I mean, not the ad. The ad wasn't 8 minutes, but the whole Reagan radio speech that they used for that is 8 minutes long. And I went back and listened to it. And
you see, at first, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs. They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets.
That's just before that, he talked about the act that you just, what was Holly
Smith.
Toot Smith.
Very close. I think we're in the ballpark.
But he talked about that. Yeah. And he talked about how that was and I didn't realize until you just said it, that was like the last time before now that we tried tariffs this restraint, this harsh.
Yeah. That's why the market collapsed on Liberation Day in April when he first proposed them. And his whole thing, if you get back to the very original part, is the balance of trade. That's what people would talk about when they talk of tariffs. The balance of trade means absolutely nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Adam Smith, the father of economics, said this. All it says is if we're buying more from that country's businesses, that we're wealthier than they are. Because they can't buy as much of our product. That's all it is. And it doesn't have any effect on anything. But
that's an interesting point. So when we're in a trade imbalance, it's because we're wealthy?
Yeah, wealthier than they are. And we can buy more of their stuff. It's I don't know where it ever got that it was a bad thing. And so you had people like Alan Greenspan have spoken about it. Greenspan said that that the whole thing of tariffs is insane. And then I can't remember, somebody else said Adam Smith, who was the first economist, he said the whole concept of calculating balance of trade is ridiculous. So all of history, Craig, and I know you're not going to go out in the streets and do this, but if you went university to university, company to company, you couldn't find a damn single economist that thinks the tariffs are a good idea. It just
it sure doesn't seem like it.
No, it's
we got one of our regulars here, Blue in Dallas.
Hello. Yes, I was just reading last night how the tariffs are depressing the GDP, and in addition to killing jobs. And we went through this the last time, and we lost like $11 billion during the last Trump shutdown on his first term, and here we go again. And they don't learn, and they're standing by him, and I don't get it.
You think of what we've got going on here. We've got the shutdown. We've got whatever the heck the tariffs are going to look like. And we don't, since Trump fired the head of the Labor Statistics Board, we don't have any idea what those numbers are. So,
I mean, this is insane. I mean, this is true of inflation. I mean, it's like, how are we going to what is the old line from, I think, is you can't manage what you can't measure?
Yes, that is actually true. So Wall Street has taken over the position of trying to figure out labor and inflation. And, they're trying to get as accurate a numbers as they can because they need it too. But that's not their job. They've never run around talking to people without jobs. I mean, that's not how these firms become zillionaires.
Now, Blue, you're in. Can I say? I guess is it okay if I say you live in maggot land? I
do live in maggot land.
And so when tariffs come up? Do they know what they are, or or they just say if Trump wants it, they want it? Is that it?
I do know that the farmers around here who grow soybeans are livid. They, we've gotten things from our senators saying, oh, well, Japan's going to buy some from us now. Well, that doesn't offset China. And now apparently China is going to buy some from us, but that they say, but I guess they've already bought everything. They've got everything that they need from Brazil and Argentina already for the next 3 months. So this does not help anybody now. So now we're bailing out farmers with some of their own tax. None of it makes sense. And then the other thing I'm wondering is they say that the tariffs are illegal. If they claw back those tariffs, the consumers are just out of luck for paying higher prices.
Yep.
And I don't see how prices will ever go back down either, because they never went back down after COVID, either after the supply chain, which I get, because when I was working, the supply chain, our container price went from like $5,000 to $20,000.
Wow.
And we couldn't pass all of that along to our customers. And we weren't farming, but so it went up astronomically, and but prices in the stores never came down, and they just use it to price gouge. So what do you think?
Well, first of all, I don't think China didn't agree to a great package for us. I mean, they are going to buy some more soybeans, but what's more important?
Basically, they stand what we had prior to this whole fiasco starting. So we're right back where we began.
Exactly. And one thing we know,
somebody's got a TV on, I think. Jamie, did you turn your TV on again?
No, my son was speaking to me.
Oh, okay.
By the way, Jamie, you're very pretty.
Thank you.
This is Jamie from business
school
way out west. We got Peter in blue here. But anyway, I'll let Peter finish.
Oh, I was just going to say, once you've changed your supply chain, like now they're bringing the things in from Brazil, it never goes back. You put a lot of work into this, this new system, and you never go completely back. So it's not like, oh, we've agreed with the U.S. now, we won't be doing Brazil anymore. They figured out Brazil's a good source of this, and time to time they're going to have better prices. So you opened up, it's Pandora's box. You're never going to get this shut. And but yeah, it's bizarre.
Well, this China deal they just made, I was going to play here. I had a little clip here I was trying to understand. First of all, whatever they did not in China, but I mean, he met with the Chinese premier in South Korea. But anyway, whatever they decided, all these frameworks and nothing was written down, nothing was signed. All right, this was nothing. I mean, this is all talk. But anyhow,
I agree.
പ്രസിഡന്റ് ട്രംപ് അത്ഭുതകരമായ ഒരു മീറ്റിംഗിന് ശേഷം ചൈനയുമായുള്ള താരിഫ് കുറച്ചു. ഒക്ടോബർ 30 വ്യാഴാഴ്ചയാണ്.
Oh, that's the Spanish version. Never mind.
The picture had a likeness. It was really working out.
Reuters does an English language and a Spanish version of their report. So we'll go back to that. Jamie, have you got a tariff question for Peter?
Not so much tariff as taxes. When you have like 400 people who have as much wealth as about 1.5 million other people, something is very out of balance. And how do we kind of get back to the old pear-shaped economy that we used to have that was so good for the middle class?
Yeah, of course, ostensibly there are no middle class left. That would be one thing. But if you look at, the French Revolution in 1789, the wealthiest, let's see, I think it was the wealthiest 10% owned 30% of all the country's wealth, and we're at the point where the wealthiest 10% own 40% of the nation's wealth. So,
we've got a king too.
Yes, and if you remember, there was that nice girl, pretty girl, that got her head cut off.
But I know some countries do have wealth taxes as opposed to income taxes because, of course, that top percentage,
Yeah.
they don't really pay income taxes. Their money comes from other sources. So how do you tax the other sources?
You know,
Jamie is our big advocate. She leads the charge at Trail Mix for a wealth tax. This is Jamie's. This is top on her agenda. What
most of the ones they've tried fall apart because it's so hard to put value on things and subtract what you have versus what you owe, and administratively it just goes all to pieces. But a few countries do manage to do it with other forms of wealth taxes, and I just wondered what you thought about it.
It's funny because, you know, the other camp keeps talking about a sales tax, you know, a federal sales tax. And of course, that's just regressionary. You know, that means
right.
Yeah.
No.
So I don't know. It would be difficult. You know, it's all these countries are places for the wealthy to hide their money. I don't know what you'd get from there. But yeah, it's a good idea but I just can't see in any case that going through. I mean, the Congress, the president are all owned by wealthy people. I mean, there's
I had heard that
get together. That would be nice, but I'm sorry.
No, I had heard that Massachusetts, also known as Taxachusetts, had actually done something where they were making the wealthier people pay taxes. They had not fled the state, and they are able to fund certain things now. So,
you know, that's my original home state, and all I know is every one of my cousins complains like crazy about the way the new tax structure is. Yeah. Now, by the way, I was going to point something out. We're talking about the South versus the North. I grew up in Boston, but I've been in Louisiana for 42 years. And one thing I'd like to clear up to people is that Louisiana is dead red, but New Orleans is so blue. I think in the last presidential election, or maybe the one before that, we were bluer than Portland, Oregon. And so that's why we all hide out here. I think anybody. I think people living in the South, I think they're working somewhere and a coworker says, you know, Bob, I like you, but I think New Orleans would be a good place for you.
You know, something I have been trying to figure out is, I've been following Trump very closely now for all these years in the campaign. On Right Side Broadcasting, it was on my go-to. I watched all the rally speeches, and I don't think he ever failed in a single campaign rally speech to bring up tariffs. He's obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, this almost sounds like her hyperbole, but this clip right here is typical of what he thinks.
Beautiful word to me in the dictionary. And I was reprimanded by the fake news. They said, what about love, religion, and God? I said, I agree. Let's put God number one. Let's put religion number two. Love, I don't know. We got to put that number three, I guess, right? And then it's tariff. Because tariffs are going to make us rich as hell. It's going to bring our country's businesses back that left us.
Oh. You know, because a lot of times I can trace back where he gets these obsessions.
Yeah.
Like the wind turbine. Took me a while, but I figured it out. He's still mad, that Scotland built wind turbines at his golf course in Scotland.
Yeah.
Where people can see them, and he fought them tooth and nail over that. I don't remember the outcome, but I can always find a source. I cannot figure out why he is so obsessed with tariffs.
Well, I think it's not just economics. I think it's meanness, machismo. It has all of that going on.
Yeah, that's
extortion. He understands extortion.
Yeah.
Well,
Here's
the
other
one
thing.
thing you know,
It's actually in the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 tariffs. I posted last night late. It's in there. So.
And Blue in Dallas was the first person I heard talking about Project 2025 before anybody was talking. I didn't know what it was.
And nobody
and she brought it up,
and then
and she never stopped talking about it, and none of us were listening to you. We thought you'd just gone off the deep end, and sure enough, it was a big deal.
It absolutely is. And, guys, with the talk about, bringing manufacturing back to the United States, first of all, there's a bunch of manufacturing. We don't want to do it anymore. We don't want to make, Christmas tree bulbs or anything like that. I mean, what we are looking for is advanced manufacturing. And, do we have the workforce for that? The other thing is when they start a new plant in the United States, people say, well, the plant it's replacing, or we used to have 2,000 workers. It'll never have 2,000 workers. With AI and robotics, you're going to be shocked at how few. I remember, it must have been 20 years ago, but I took my two sons to the Coca-Cola bottling facility. It was brand new. It was the most automated, high-tech of all Coca-Cola's facilities around the world. And we got a tour, and it was about the size of 3 football fields. And there were like 6 employees. And at the end, I remember my son asking the management guy, he said, boy, so many robots in here. And the manager says, yeah, you know what I like about robots? They don't have fights with their wives. They don't come in hungover. And so he didn't seem to be moving towards more people. So it's
and I'm the big science fiction fan and absolutely love Heinlein. And he was so right about so many things, including predicting the religious right in the 1950s and talking about the roads must roll, the automated highways.
Who is that you're saying?
Robert Heinlein.
Heinlein.
Robert Heinlein. Heinlein. Heinlein.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, Craig's a big reader, so we got to read it by him.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
You might remember the big one that hit Stranger in a Strange Land, then all the hippies were reading it. But then if you go on to his longer works, his novels and so on, they tell you everything you need to know about everything that's going on today. He had water beds when everybody else was still on the floor in a sleeping bag.
That has not been my best night's sleep, by the way, but still, you get a good point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's just so many untruths to this. And I don't, the thing is, we don't really have the impact of the real tariffs yet because a lot of stuff is still at sea. And also, the Supreme Court brings this up. When is it? The 4th or the 9th? The whole tariff thing. And, that's, if they allow it all, then the everything's going to fly open.
Right. Yeah. The Supreme Court's taking that up. And, here.
And the 9th is the one that all the super conservatives get so angry with because they basically represent blue. They were awake before anyone discovered woke.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, here. So this is Stranger in a Strange Land, Robert Heinlein.
Yes.
Oh, nice job.
That was the first of his books that really hit, but that isn't his best.
And look at there, it's only $19 on Kindle, so I guess it's still.
Is it banned?
Yeah, that's
epic. Good. Yeah, Epic Saga of an Earthling.
Yeah.
Well, we can all relate to being an epic saga of an Earthling. We're all Earthlings.
It must be pretty good. My 2 books sell online now for $3. So this must be a great book. Didn't lose all its value.
Well, I still have mine in. I got.
But Craig, you bought 1,000 of them.
This is the. This is the picture.
Thomas.
Yeah, if you really if you really want to watch him press every button in the book, the one you need to buy is Time Enough for Love.
Oh,
Time Enough for Love, Robert Heinlein.
Uh-huh.
I want to start a book club and have.
Well, you know what? We should start with your books and I would start with the Machiavelli. What would Machiavelli do?
And
I have bought
The
so
French,
many
yeah.
copies. I have bought several copies of that for people as they graduate from high school. That is a great.
really?
That is a great one for high school. Yep. Depending on the kid.
The old
but,
politics. Get out your books, Peter.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
Politics Alive.
It's a good place
okay.
to tell them. Yeah.
Here we go.
That's it. The Politics Alive.
All right.
You know what? This is actually the only book. This is the book I'm actually the most proud of.
Is that the one you wrote up at the cabin?
Yeah, I holed up in a cabin in West Virginia. Lost River was the name of the town. It's actually the name of the town. Lost River, West Virginia.
I'll tell you an old Craig story. He borrowed my house in Cape Cod during the winter. He stayed there about a month. He was going to write the.
You remember, Jamie? I was telling you this story a few weeks ago. You and Jack. I was telling you about this when I went there. Anyway, and I spent the whole time feeding the fireplace.
Right. It was turning
the
out
Franklin stove.
Word.
Yeah.
Well, my two books are Stocks Under Rocks, which is the program I run at Tulane. I take 200 students. I break them up.
This is so cool. This program.
It's really fun, and I break up.
Describe the program.
Okay. I started in 1993. It was named the #1 experiential learning program in the world, and we basically I take 200 students every year. I break them up into teams of 5, and they have to write an investment research report, 25, 30 pages on whether or not you ought to buy that stock. And part of it is we fly them out to spend the day with the CEO and the CFO, and they've had the best site visits in the free world. They've taken helicopters to offshore oil rigs. They've been to steel mills. They've been to chicken processing plants. I take a lot of crap for that one, but after a couple of years of therapy, they are fine. Those chicken processing.
Well, once when he lost his job, my former son-in-law actually worked at one of those chicken raising farms.
Wow.
I mean, everybody was Mexican except him. And
I know we were in the eviscerating plant, but
he came home with some horror stories about what it was like to do that.
Which is why I'm a vegetarian.
Yes, right. Yeah. One day we were visiting with him, and they just raised the federal minimum wage. And I said to the CFO, "Is that going to affect you?" And he looks around. Everybody's full of blood. The stuff's flying out. He just looks at me and goes, "Peter, do you think any of these people work for minimum wage?" I was like, "No, actually." And then I have a radio show here in New Orleans for the last 15 years on NPR.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's called Out to Lunch.
Hey, could that be a business?
It's called, and it's, if you go to itsneworleans.com, you can pull it up. And
all right.
We've had 1,200 entrepreneurs, and we've had 15 years of shows, and it's a lot of fun. Craig, we do the show now at a place I think I took you, the Columns Hotel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's where they filmed
pretty big.
That movie that they couldn't make today.
Yes, absolutely. With the 14-year-old prostitute. And the whole place looks like that. Even the room we're in is painted red.
I actually stayed there one time.
You did? All right. Yeah. And we've had just the wildest people. We had there was a husband and wife that had started 6 different businesses in New Orleans. And so I really wanted to have them on the show. And of course, the job of the host, I see with Craig, is just to make people loose so they'll talk. And so I asked them before the show, they were so nervous. And I asked the woman, I said, so when did you know Tom was the one? Just as a kind of a nice way to start. And she said, when the stick turned blue. So if you're going to give it, you got to be willing to take it too. So yeah, there
it is.
Yep.
Out to Lunch. What a great name for a show. I love that.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah, my cousin just graduated from Tulane, so I'm wondering, was it a master's degree program?
Geez, the research one is for undergrads and
graduate students. I'll have to ask. I'll ask.
Yeah,
but I'll ask her. Maybe
40 years. So I've been now undergraduates are coming up to me and saying, my mother had you. And it's like, what are we talking about here, really? So far, so good.
Craig, you need to, on the site, you need to post all the books and shows that we've talked about on here. So I've got one place to go and find them.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I know. The book I read right after Trump won was, I went back and reread It Couldn't Happen Here. And that was
who wrote that? I've heard of that book.
Who wrote that? Is a writer from the 20s.
I heard somebody talking about.
Is that Upton Sinclair?
Yeah.
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 Boy, I wonder where I was hiding that gray cell.
Keep that one. Keep that cell.
Right after I ordered it, they said we have to restock. I guess there were thousands of people that wanted to go read that again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, getting back, you brought up something that Peter, about the Supreme Court going to take up the tariff case.
Yeah.
Rand Paul, I just pulled a minute or two of him on the Senate floor. He is really hot to trot on the legal aspects of these tariffs, just being illegal, basically. Yeah. I mean, and who knows what the court's going to decide, but he's so right about this.
Yeah. And you don't want to be out fishing near Venezuela either. I think that's illegal. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I mean, the stuff that they are letting Trump get away with, that
one person
totally
can raise
illegal.
Taxes is contrary to our founding principles. The Constitution forbids it. Allowing taxes to be levied, doubled, tripled, and then one day perhaps forgiven is a recipe for chaos. The tariffs are implemented, the tariffs are canceled, the tariffs are delayed, the tariff rate changes daily. Just this week, the president added a special 10% import tax on Canada because he was mad about the nation's Ronald Reagan ad. No country, no business, no family can plan a budget when the tax rates, the import tax rates, and the cost of every commodity are determined by the whims of one man. There are now tariffs on steel, there are tariffs on aluminum, there are tariffs on lumber, and they change from day to day. But not one of these tariffs was voted on by the people's elected representative in Congress. These tariffs are simply announced by presidential proclamation. This administration has declared emergencies with over 100 nations. With these emergency declarations, the president claims the unilateral right to levy import tax.
There he gets into a whole nother legal angle, which affects everything from using the National Guard to blowing up Central Americans. I mean, they base everything on these emergency powers and that's how he's becoming a dictator. He's asserting emergencies to then claim these powers that he just doesn't have. I mean, that gets into a whole nother aspect of the thing. But back to the economics of it, Peter. I mean, the point that he makes about chaos. I mean, how can the market? How can a Fortune 500 CEO plan his operations in this administration? I mean, when you don't know from one day to the next on major things like tariffs, what this president's going to do.
No, it's absolutely, and you can't. Investors don't know what the hell to do, and your retirement funds. I mean, God knows what's going to happen in there. It's been really brutal. You need stability and you need planning, and this doesn't. Of course, Wall Street's always have been very short-term oriented. What did I hear once? They were talking about the tariffs on Canada, and which I think is really terrible because the Canadians are the nicest people on the planet. They're how you get 6 Canadians out of your pool. You ask them to get out of the pool, and it's oh man. And then I was talking to another guy. Sat on the board of a home healthcare company, and And the guy I was talking to him on the phone, we're up there, and he said, I said, well, we're trying to do a 5-year plan for healthcare. And he goes, I love this expression. He goes, Peter, that's nice you're doing that, but that pizza's still spinning. Yeah, you're right, sir.
One of my favorite musicals is Come From Away. And I don't know if you're familiar with it, but 9/11, when the towers came down and all the planes that were in the air were immediately grounded, and Canada took in like 38 planes full of people and kept them there for the whole duration until they could fly out again.
Yes.
And took care of them. And it's a great musical, but there is a joke in there about why you can't tell a knock-knock joke to a Canadian.
Why?
Well, if you say knock-knock, they say, come on in.
That is good. You're great.
Yeah, all that saber rattling at Canada. I mean, here, what I see in Trump, actually a Brookings Institute in the first term, a Brookings Institute scholar I was talking to about this one time. He had done a study of Trump's foreign policy, and he said basically, and this was first term, his foreign policy is that Canada and Mexico and South America belong to us. Europe belongs to Russia, and Asia belongs to China. And you know what? That's what his policies look like. They really do.
That is
to your point on Venezuela.
Yeah.
Oh, just quickly, to your point on Venezuela, the United Nations is now investigating those extrajudicial murders out in international waters. So they're pretty toothless, but at least it's getting attention.
Like George W. called them, the International Debating Society. But they need to be there, and they need to do what they do. So I'm not going to complain.
Yeah. The original question, Craig, about what CEOs do and everything. One of the things we see when we go talk to them, they just won't give us what they used to give us. Like, I think the potential in the next year is this point to that point. They just refuse to do it. And I don't blame them. They have no confidence. Even when things are going,
refuse to do what?
To give guidance, to tell us, this is what I think. Yeah, this is what a range of what might happen next year. It's like all bets are off. Yeah, you just.
Yeah.
And that
because they don't know.
They don't know. That's right. I mean, some of the students go like, I think they're hiding on us. It was like, no, they're not. They just. I don't know. You talk about the short-term orientation. These reports the students make, and we've sent 1,100 of them off to Wall Street. I always think, Craig, when I go to heaven, when I die, they're going to look at my file. St. Peter's going to look at my file and then say, "Oh, fellow Peter, this is going to work out okay." And then he's a nice guy, all this stuff, and then he's going to read, "Oh, he trained 1,100 investment bankers." It's like, we're not saying no. We're just saying we're going to put you to the side for a little bit, have a little.
We're going to think about this.
Yeah. But you talk about the short-term orientation of people, particularly this generation. I tell them that they have to put on every report a 12-month target price. Where do they think after all this work the stock will be in 12 months? And they are incredulous at this because they trade stocks in and out, every second. And the kid comes up to me at the end of class and he goes, "Mr. Raschuti," he goes, like 12 months. That's like 3 girlfriends from now. Oh man. But
on a major detour for a moment, because of your expertise with spending all this time, how do you see this? I'll just make it a general question. What is this generation all about that you're teaching? I mean, where is there hope, or is it hopeless, or what do you see? And because you've seen some generation, as you said, you've got students whose mothers were your students, so you've seen an evolution here. Give us some of your perspective from that experience.
Well, I think they're getting better and better in terms of what they want to do. Tulane is the only school with mandatory community service, and we have ever since Katrina, and the last through those years, we've averaged about 47,000 applicants for 1,900 freshman slots. So this is what that generation wants to do. And I make them do the thing in this class, Craig, that sounds like something you would do. On the first day of class, I make them go home and write their obituary. And
they still vote you their favorite professor.
Yes, it seems hard to do, but I have them turn in their resume and their obituary to show them kind of what they're thinking about now and what they want to be remembered for. And they see the big difference. The big picture is in the obituary. So, and Craig, I'm writing yours. It's going to go on forever.
What kind of things do they say without violating privacies? I mean,
it's all it's all philanthropy.
Really?
Yeah, it really is. They want to make a lot of money and then give it away. And they're great kids. And I'll tell you something you might not notice if you were not on the college campus every day, but like Tulane is 70% female.
Is that right?
Yeah. Huh. And I talk to people at other schools, and you'd think it's like, oh, yeah, I'm just stereotyping, but like it's all liberal arts or something like that. 55% of the business school is female, 53% of engineering, like 75% of law. It's incredible. And you know what it is? We're doing what everybody else is trying to do. We're trying to move up in the rankings. And the way you do that is you have the best SAT scores and the best GPA scores and all that. And the truth of the matter is, your daughter is a better student than your son. And I know, stop the presses, but this is but that's what it is. And I laugh at this DEI stuff because, if they really did actual DEI, the class would be 90% women and 60% of those would be Asian. And that's, I'm sorry, Jethro is still not getting into Tulane. That's the whole. So, just a funny.
But that actually there's a flip side to that I've been focusing on is the plight of young men who who are just doped out on gaming and listening to Joe Rogan. They're the big reason Trump won.
Yes.
I mean, they're one of the big reasons that they actually broke at the end of the campaign. I thought they weren't going to show up. I had been watching them closely, that demographic, particularly white men under 25 or so, and didn't look like in the early voting they were going to show up. And I don't know if it had anything to do with it, but after that 3 hours on Joe Rogan on Friday, I think it was, before the Tuesday election, they started, but the early voting started picking up in that demographic in key states like Pennsylvania. And at the end of the day, they got to the polls. And that was I think the main reason Trump is that demographic.
And I think we can
take and they got all kinds of, it's not just they're not going to college. They're
right.
They're the women their age are more successful getting jobs, going to colleges. They can't get girlfriends. I mean, this is they're a problem.
And I think it took decades in the making, and it's and not was it oh, guys, I'm sorry. What was the name of our Secretary of Transportation under?
DeVos?
Yeah. No, it was Pete.
John.
Oh, Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. And, he went on Joe Rogan. He's going on a lot of them, and he's a really, really good debater, and I think that's what we have to do is to go on to those. They went from, I don't know, and of course I have to laugh at this as a 68-year-old man remembering when I was in college. Yeah, I see all these packs of students going to dinner somewhere, and there's like 14 girls walking down the street, and there's not a single guy. And that's what my wife always says. I said, "Where are they?" She goes, "They're in their rooms gaming."
And playing with crypto. They're also a big. I mean, they're lost. They're off on these crazy detours that are just ruining their lives. I mean,
they really are.
All right. Now let's let the women pick up on this. I mean,
right.
Are we being too defensive?
Well, the whole MAGA thing about the trad wife and the full quiver of kids, and let's go back to the 1950s before you girls were allowed to do anything other than cook dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say
Handmaid's
the other
Tale,
person
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
other good person the other Democrat that's been on Joe Rogan's show is James Tallarico from Texas. He's running for
Oh,
Senate, and
Yeah.
he has like the kernel of, if like I said this morning, if the kernel of anything decent in maggots' hearts, he will get to it. He will get to it. He's likable. He's like a theology person. But he's
Yeah.
very,
I know who
we
you
need to
are.
help
Yep.
people. We need to rising tide lifts all boats, that kind of guy. He's a good guy. I mean, and it's like, I can see him really going places if he can get past the way they've got things running now in Texas. So I don't know.
No,
We'll see.
he's definitely potential presidential material.
I think so too. I think so
Yeah,
too.
he's a real young guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But about when Trump did the tweet in the campaign, I hate Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of like, what in the world? Why? I knew exactly what he was doing, because these young guys I'm talking about, they hate Taylor Swift because they're sick of hearing about her from the women in their age group.
Yeah.
And they just cheered when he it made all the sense in the world for the demographic he was trying to appeal to.
I think he probably felt the other was gone anyway. But go ahead.
Tangentially, the Kansas City Chiefs kicker is I think he's Opus Dei, and he gave a commencement. Yeah, he gave a commencement speech to a Catholic college, and basically told the females in the audience, the best thing you'll ever do is just be a homemaker and have kids. And then he said to the young men, go out and enjoy yourselves. So every time he misses a kick and when he's hurt, that was me. That was me.
Everybody in your coven was rooting against the
exactly. Just like I salted the earth before I left Dallas. The Chiefs kicker, every time he misses, that's me.
Yep, that's good. That's God's will, and the win. Yeah.
Oh, Peter, talking about your classes reminds me of my dad, who was an accountant, and just after coming out of before he went into the Army, he was an accountant at 16 for the railroads.
Wow.
And then he went into the Army, and coming out of the Army for a short duration before switching over to the Air Force, because it was just splitting about then, he taught at Four Seas College accounting, and his course was 100 ways to embezzle your boss. And the last part of the course was 101 ways to get caught.
That's a great way to teach people how not to get caught. Teach them how to get caught.
Yeah. We do a thing on ethics in my class where I bring in, he's a wonderful older man. He was the CFO of Health South. And you remember there was a period, I guess 2001, when Enron went bad because of counting, and then WorldCom, so that's Texas, Mississippi, and in Alabama it was Health South, and they brought them all to their knees by cooking the books. And he's out of jail now, and I have him speak to the class. Kids just love it. There's I haven't told the dean. I don't think he'd be as crazy about this, but oh yeah, it's
look how many people got burned by Madoff.
Oh God, yeah. I heard that a lot of people got their money back, 10 years later.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I just and all the ball players that gave money to him, like Sandy Koufax and all those people. I mean, just and the crypto thing. I guess you go to a bar and you can meet girls by saying you have crypto or something. I think it doesn't.
Well, I see on TikTok, I see a lot of TikToks where girls, I say girls, I mean, early
Young
20s,
women.
they will do TikToks complaining about their boyfriends on crypto. That's like a thing. It's so funny. It's like
I am a diehard Dodger fan, and when they had that 18-inning game, the joke going around was if they have to change pitchers one more time, they're calling in Koufax.
Yeah, because he was there.
He was there, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he was there.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't been right since that 18-inning game. My sleep patterns and everything else. So
yeah, Peter's a college baseball player himself.
Yeah, I had to enjoy.
That's how when we met, you were playing on our college baseball team.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember,
that's
as I recall, you had to keep your grades up to a certain level to stay on the team or something. Anyway, to get your baseball scholarship, I guess it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, and you decided for a semester that you couldn't talk to me.
Oh yeah, that was true. Yeah,
because I was distracting him from his studies.
Craig would come to my door at like 2 a.m. and pick me up, and we'd go to the truck stop and have breakfast. See, that did not encourage studying either. And, it's
I mean, you'd think some people would be going to a bar or something, but I like going to the truck stop at 2 o'clock in the morning.
And he found a place that had real truck stop coffee. So when you had it at 2 in the morning, you would never go to sleep again.
Yeah.
So it's he's been a great friend, but he's probably hasn't been all that good for parts of my life. But that's okay.
Great,
had to put
great
me
friend,
on
terrible
pause
influence.
Yeah. Oh man. But
one last thing I wanted to get into about because one of the things you do in your work is you really, maybe I'm overstating, but you really study CEO psychology. Yeah. And one of the questions I've got is, why are all these big players caving into Trump so much? I mean, what was the most sickening, and there are several, but when I saw the Apple guy, Cook, in the Oval Office, getting out that little glass gift of his and putting it together, it was just pathetic. I mean, why are they doing this?
Well, because Trump is capable of, if he doesn't like you, making life very hard for you. It's not like regular presidents where he might think something, but he doesn't do it the next morning. Look at Canada and such. And there are little things, and there's some other parts, like, what was it the other day? There would not be tariffs on washers and dryers. And I thought, now, obviously, somebody from the washer dryer industry paid him off. I mean, it's crazy. It's like stone.
Or one of the things I remember this from the first term, talking to somebody who was in the administration, and they were complaining about that his friends at Mar-a-Lago are one of their biggest headaches, because he would go to Mar-a-Lago and he'd have lunch with or play golf with his billionaire friends, and they would say something like, these washer dryers, they just got to go, and then he'd come out and say, oh, no more washer dryers, we're getting rid of them, and he'd write a tweet, and suddenly he'd be making that federal policy based on what one of his billionaire friends said it during a golf game. and he still does that.
And some guy, some stock analyst is in New York. He's got an idea of spreadsheet showing how things are going to go. And then, there's the golf course and the tweet. And then why don't I just throw the whole thing out again? It's like,
that's
how that idea started. Remember when for a while they were talking about getting back to tariffs, that we were getting so much money in on tariffs that we're going to start writing checks to everybody, to all Americans are going to get a check, because of the tariff. That came from one of his billionaire golfing buddies at Mar-a-Lago, that very thing. I mean, that was something that guy was talking about, and when he said it to Trump picked up on it and says, yeah, we ought to do that. And it's
and then Carolyn Levitt says, yeah, we're looking into that, which they're not.
Yeah, right.
It's with the Doge check in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. And that Trump always chickens out really kind of puts it all together. I don't even think he's serious about this stuff. He says most of it.
Here's a question though, that it brings up the point about the CEOs and the tariffs. The U.S. is no longer a reliable trading partner because of Trump. Okay, and so why in the heck don't people just gang up on him and put him in his place? Because he's gonna roll over, as I've told my senator. Dictators do not need legislators, and he is going to roll over you one day when he doesn't need you anymore. And I have told my senators that over and over again, and they're tired of hearing from me daily. But so I don't understand that, since he is so unreliable and so, chaotic, bipolar, whatever's going on with him. I don't understand why anybody stands by him. I don't get it, unless they're on the take too.
You brought up a really good point. I don't know. And yeah, I don't know. These people, when they took those jobs, they did not think they would ever deal with anything like this. Well, and of course, shareholders are at their back. They want more and more earnings, and the CEO is going like, how can I earn more when the table is tilted? And so I don't know.
Well, like South Korea, they pulled the ICE pulled those Hyundai workers out and treated them terribly. And then I think that they lost the LG brand. I think they lost plants there too. So now he goes to South Korea and they give him a gold crown.
Yes,
what in the heck? I was like, what are you doing? And fed him gold leaf dessert.
I almost thought it was a gag, really, at first.
Yeah.
What does Stephen Colbert said last night? He said, he goes, the president's in South Korea, which is his second favorite Korea.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And
John Bolton said one time about Trump and foreign leaders and you can see it, and this is an example. I think is he said, they have figured out that there is nothing ludicrous. There's nothing too ludicrous that you can say to him to flatter him and his ego. You could say anything. I mean, and even if it's just ridiculous, and he'll believe it and respond to it, and that's what we continue to see.
Yeah, I don't know. In these, what we do, we listen to these investment calls where investors talk to the CEO and the CFO and all that. And there's a bunch of people that are always trying to schmooze those people because they want investment banking deals and all. And I actually heard one where the guy said, Tom, thanks for taking the call. That's a beautiful tie. And the guy said, it's just audio. It's That's very Trump kind of thing. Oh my God. And then Elon Musk, before Tesla started making money, he was having a conference call, and he didn't talk about Tesla at all. He just started talking about the way he sees the world and all that. And one of the analysts got on, he says, Elon, this is an earnings call. It's not a TED Talk. And that's what everybody else was thinking too. So,
he's such a bad combination of being deeply ignorant about virtually every subject under the sun, and being so insecure that he has to be constantly bolstered,
right,
in his opinion of himself, and that is destruction waiting to happen.
It is. You talk to people that don't really watch, and they go, "Oh, he's the most confident man in America." That's not the behavior of
he's kind of being confident.
Yeah.
I mean, I've studied his upbringing very closely, and I mean, there is just no overstating the psychotic impact of his demented father.
Oh, you're talking about Trump.
I mean,
and his mother wasn't particularly kind to him.
Well, his mother was weird.
Yes.
One of the weirdest stories about his upbringing that is that on a regular basis, she would put on her fur coat. She loved her furs, and she had a Rolls Royce, and she would put on her fur, get in a Rolls Royce, and bring Trump along when he was like 8, 9 years old. And they would ride around to all of his father's apartment complex. And she would send him into the basement where they had the laundry machines and have him collect all the coins from the laundry machines and bring
Maybe
them
that's
back
the washer
to the
dryer thing again.
That's the
Yeah.
washer dryer.
Wow.
And there are so many stories like that about her weirdness, because she grew up poor in Scotland. She was born in Scotland and poor, and that money, man, it meant a lot to her, and even down to the coins and the laundromats in their apartment building.
Wow. So basically, Craig, if his father had hugged him, we would be okay today.
Well, if you really want to get deeply, I'll get deeply psyched, because I've spent a lot of time on this, unfortunately. But when he was born, in the first full 2 months of his life, I think it was what is it women get with the postpartum, when the depression from childbirth. The people who have studied it really think that's what it was. They just didn't really name it at the time. But she was completely out of commission, just holed up in her bedroom, didn't come out, was a complete recluse, had nothing to do with Trump. And his father was in charge of his care. Oh, boy. And when he was like in his first 2 months, and it went on, that basically extended for another year or so. His mother was just gone, just absent. And the experts in the condition, what is the narcissistic personality disorder, they don't really know what causes it, but that's one of the factors. Is if there's a major emotional deprivation in your early months and years, that is a factor they found. It's a consistent factor they found in studying narcissistic personality disorder, and it explains a lot. But his upbringing, his parents were bizarre.
Yeah,
and of course they drove his brother to his death with drinking.
Really, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So I have to ask the final question, Craig. Is what do we?
Because we're at an hour here. So.
Okay. What about the third term? Okay. The third term and JD Vance and all. What's going to happen?
I think they're going to try something.
JD Vance.
But Jamie, Blue, what do you think?
I think basically we know it's illegal. We know there's an amendment. I'm with Craig. I think they will try and figure out some way to wiggle around that, and hopefully he will drop dead before he gets a chance to do it.
There's your answer right there, because he's got so many things going on. There's no way he's going to make it till then. But we still have a problem, because we still have the entire JD and the entire administration, and possibly Vice President or FLOTUS Erica Kirk Vance. I don't know what's going on there. But
Miller.
Or Miller, Stephen Miller. Oh God, I don't think anybody. Can you imagine two more unlikable guys than JD Vance and Stephen Miller?
I mean, if you could explain their speculation about that and their teasing of that as a way to deal with being a lame duck. In other words, make people think that. Because the whole lame duck phenomenon is that in the president's last couple of years, nobody's afraid of him, and so they don't pay any attention to him. So they want to avoid that lame duck phenomenon by thinking, "Oh, but wait a second, he might still be around after this."
Or he didn't actually win. What if he didn't actually win, and
Well, here's why I want to.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the term limitation amendment anyway. But I mean, here's why I'd like to get rid of it, so Obama can run against him.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, they already figured that. They said that they had figured out a way to keep him from doing that.
They'll make
They're
that an
scared to death.
exception.
And I will tell you, being down here when Biden dropped out, the thing that I got was they're going to run Michelle Obama, aren't they? And being just like hysterical about it. They were afraid that they were going to run a Michelle Obama. I mean, just like the hysteria here was just off the charts. And I'm going to put an extra comment on the trail for the professor, because I have a question about something else that he brought up. So I'll do that.
Great.
And look for your radio show as well.
And this is what I want to.
You drop in on the trail and add words of wisdom.
Oh yeah.
It's because I really love your trailer. I guess that was what Craig is.
But now I just want to tease, if we can get you to come back sometime. This is the next step after tariffs I want to get into is what really boosts manufacturing, because the whole argument for tariffs is that's what it does, and it doesn't. And industrial policy is what works. I want to talk about that next time.
Well, make sure there's the next time. That'll be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
I even built this whole chart we can go through.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Peter.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate it.
That was a lot of fun.
Okay, I'm Lady Mau Mau, Craig's built-in emergency brake. If this wasn't enough for you, sign up for the newsletter. It's free, it's thoughtful, and it occasionally makes sense.